Welcome, where we plunge into a stack of sources, articles, and research to pull out the most impactful insights just for you.
That's right.
Today, we're unraveling the fascinating world of mastering habits. Small steps to big change. We've distilled, a wealth of practical tips and personal stories from our sources, all designed to make building good habits not just accessible, but genuinely transformative.
And there's some really practical stuff in there.
Absolutely. Our mission is to cut through the noise, giving you a concise yet thorough guide to habit formation without any information overload.
Okay, let's unpack this. There's some truly profound wisdom here that feels incredibly timely, for anyone looking to make lasting changes.
It's true. The core idea running through all our material is just how deeply habits are wired into our lives. They're kind of the silent architects of our days, often operating below our conscious awareness,
Right.
shaping everything from our health to our long-term goals. And when you start to really dissect them, it's eye-opening. We all sort of intuitively understand that habits are those actions we repeat, sometimes without even a second thought, like that morning coffee routine or brushing your teeth.
Sure, the automatic stuff.
But what the sources really unpack is the subtle interplay between our conscious intentions and our brain's deeply ingrained preference for efficiency. It's not just about what we do, but how our brain tries to, minimize cognitive load.
Precisely. They become these automatic behaviors that free up mental energy for other things. But this raises an important question. If they're so beneficial, why do new habits often feel like such an uphill battle?
Yeah, why are they so hard sometimes?
Well, our sources highlight that our brain has a built-in resistance to change. It's comfortable with existing neural pathways, you see.
Okay.
When you introduce something new, it perceives it as a higher energy cost, a disruption. That initial friction, that feeling of, is actually a completely normal biological response.
That's a crucial distinction. It's not a personal failing. It's just how our brains are wired.
Exactly.
And what really jumped out from the sources, and honestly, what's a game changer for many, is this incredibly simple truth. It's all about tiny steps, not giant leaps.
Small steps.
Building habits is a journey requiring patience, not perfection. Change isn't instantaneous. It takes weeks, even months, to truly solidify. The power lies in making the starting point so minuscule that your brain's resistance is, almost non-existent.
What's fascinating here is how consistently the sources emphasize that tiny, manageable shifts are far more effective than trying to overhaul everything at once.
Right.
It's about building momentum, not aiming for immediate perfection. Think about David, who wanted to exercise more.
Okay, yeah.
Our sources tell us he began with just 5 minutes on the first day, gradually adding 1 minute daily. The brilliance lies in making the starting point so comfortable
So easy.
that resistance is almost non-existent. It's less about immediate perfection and more about simply showing up consistently, almost effortlessly.
I love that. It's so unintuitive for some of us who think, we need to go all in or declare a complete lifestyle overhaul.
Right, the big resolution trap.
Exactly. Tom, for instance, who wanted to eat healthier, started by adding just one vegetable to his meals daily. It's almost imperceptible, but it begins to redefine what healthy eating means to his routine.
Or Mark, wanting to stop drinking soda, didn't quit cold turkey. He just reduced his intake by 1 less cup per week. Slow, steady, manageable.
Right. It's about making it sustainable from day one.
You've highlighted a critical distinction there. These aren't about brute forcing change. They build without triggering that strong internal resistance, leveraging the brain's preference for ease and small, consistent wins.
So once we've embraced this idea of starting ridiculously small and understanding why our brains push back, what are the actionable strategies the sources give us to actually make these changes stick? Let's dive into some practical tools. One of the first principles is making it incredibly easy and connecting new behaviors to existing routines. This is all about lowering what they call the activation energy.
Yes, the sources make a powerful point. If you want to read more, don't aim for a chapter right away. Start with just 1 page and literally keep the book on your pillow or by your bed. That simple act reduces the friction to start to almost zero. It removes pretty much every excuse.
That idea of making it frictionless is powerful. It reminds me of another technique our sources highlight, one that leverages routines you already have cemented. Habit stacking.
Ah, yes, habit stacking.
Tell us how that works, because it seems to sort of piggyback on existing neural pathways, right?
It absolutely does. Habit stacking is about strategically attaching a new behavior to an existing, well-established one.
Okay.
So Sarah, wanting to drink more water, decided to drink a glass right after brushing her teeth in the morning. Brushing teeth was already automatic.
Right, she does it anyway.
So drinking water just hitched a ride on that pre-existing neural pathway. Or Laura, who also aimed for more water, chose to drink a glass after every bathroom visit.
Using an existing cue.
Exactly. The established habit acts as the cue for the new one, making it feel less like an effort and more like a natural sequence.
Another huge piece of the puzzle, and one that resonates deeply with me, is the power of mindset specifically, cultivating self-kindness.
Oh, this is crucial.
Our sources are very clear. If you miss a day, it's not a failure, it's simply a data point. The key is to restart immediately, not to give up or, beat yourself up about it.
Definitely.
Cousin Mark, busy with work, missed studying English, but he consciously told himself, it is okay to miss a day. Tomorrow I will try again. It's almost like giving yourself permission to be human, isn't it?
It's precisely that. Simon, despite missing 2 days of exercise, simply reset his intention. I will start again today.
Just get back on track.
And Emma continued her English study despite missing days due to busyness, just by adopting a similar positive attitude. This highlights that true consistency isn't about perfection.
No.
It's about persistence, the ability to recover quickly from a slip. And to fuel that persistence, our sources emphasize implementing small rewards.
The rewards.
Yeah, and it's not just about a simple treat. These micro rewards trigger a release of dopamine in the brain, literally strengthening the neural pathways for the new habit. It's a biological reinforcement mechanism that we can consciously leverage.
So it's about signaling to your brain, hey, this effort was worth it. Michael, for example, intentionally savored a cup of tea immediately after his morning runs. It became a pleasurable punctuation mark for his exercise. And Lisa rewarded herself with a cup of tea after every study session.
Or Daniel would take a short walk or enjoy a healthy snack after finishing a chapter of an English book.
It's a subtle but profoundly effective shift that makes the effort feel less like a chore and more like a path to something desirable, something nice.
Exactly. Moving on. Once you've made it easy and started that tiny momentum, how do we keep the engine running? How do we sustain it?
Right, the long haul.
Our sources highlight something incredibly simple, yet profoundly motivating. Visually tracking your progress.
Okay, like a chart or something.
Yeah, using a notebook or calendar to mark off completed habits. Seeing those check marks provides tangible evidence of your effort, activating your brain's reward system and motivating you to maintain the streak.
I can see that.
Sarah, for example, kept a water log and felt happy, seeing many check marks, transforming a simple act into a satisfying accomplishment.
That visual feedback loop is incredibly satisfying. And speaking of support, leveraging support systems is another key strategy the sources underscore.
Yes, don't go it alone.
Informing family or friends about your goals can offer immense encouragement, gentle reminders, and crucial accountability.
Definitely.
Mike's wife helped him read more by choosing books they could read together, making it a shared experience.
That's great.
Rachel asked her husband to speak English with her for 10 minutes every evening, turning practice into connection.
And Cousin Tom asked his wife to walk with him after dinner. Mark joined a walking group to stay motivated. Having that external accountability and shared experience can make a significant difference.
Yeah, makes it less isolating.
Transforming a solitary effort into a collective journey. This leads us to another powerful strategy, shaping your environment.
Environment design.
This is about arranging your surroundings to facilitate good habits and make undesirable ones harder.
This is huge. It's about designing your world to make the right choice, the easy choice. Like, keep fruits and nuts on your table for easy access to healthy snacks.
Right there in front of you.
It's a visible cue that literally nudges you towards the healthy option. Peter, who wanted to reduce phone use, didn't just rely on willpower alone. He physically kept his phone in another room while working, creating a barrier.
Out of sight, out of mind, literally. And Anna, aiming to improve focus while studying English, did the same thing, kept her phone in another room.
Makes perfect sense.
It's about reducing the friction for desired behaviors and increasing the friction for undesired ones. And hand in hand with environment design is specificity and goal setting.
Right, being clear.
Our sources really push for clearly defining your habit.
Absolutely. Instead of a vague, I want to exercise, the sources advocate for something precise, like, I will walk for 10 minutes every morning. That clarity removes ambiguity.
Yeah.
And provides your brain with a clear instruction. Anna's specific plan was to speak English with her husband for 15 minutes every evening.
Very specific. David wrote, "I will walk for 15 minutes every day at 6 p.m. and place the note on his fridge, a constant reminder."
Oh, I like that.
Olivia wrote, "I will practice English speaking for 10 minutes every day and put it near her desk." Specificity removes ambiguity and makes the action concrete, measurable, and therefore much more likely to happen.
Okay, so we've got making it easy, habit stacking, self-kindness, rewards, tracking, support, environment, specificity. What about staying motivated long term and those days when you just don't feel like it?
Yeah, the tough days. For sustaining motivation and planning for those inevitable difficult days, our sources offer more excellent advice. First, always remember your why.
No reason.
Regularly reminding yourself of the deeper benefits and ultimate goal of your habit can be an incredibly powerful motivator, tapping into your intrinsic drive. Michael, saving money, constantly visualized his goal to buy a new bike.
Kept the prize in view.
Rachel kept her goal of learning English for future travel firmly in mind. This connects the present effort to a compelling future.
And critically, plan for those off days. This is important. On busy or tired days, do a smaller, easier version of your habit rather than skipping entirely.
The mini version.
If you plan to read 10 pages but are very tired, read just 1 page. Sarah read just 1 page of her book every night, even when swamped with work. This maintains the streak.
Crucial.
Without demanding too much, reinforcing your identity as someone who does this habit.
That's the core takeaway. It's about not breaking the chain, even if the links are tiny some days. And positive self-talk is another power tool. Believe in your ability to change and use encouraging phrases. James used positive phrases like, "I can do this," while learning English. Simple, but effective.
That internal cheerleader.
Our sources also strongly advise against trying to build too many new habits concurrently to prevent overwhelm.
Oh, definitely. Tried that. Doesn't work.
Yeah. Lisa, for example, started with eating 1 healthy meal a day, adding exercise to her routine only after 2 months. That measured approach, focusing on mastering one thing before moving to the next, really pays off by reducing cognitive load and decision fatigue.
Okay, wow. Here's where it gets really interesting. The sources give us a complete toolkit, not just a philosophy, for making these changes stick. It's about strategic thinking.
Absolutely.
Flexibility, for instance. If a method isn't working, try a new approach or time. Peter switched from morning to evening runs when mornings proved too difficult.
Just adjusted.
Laura varied her English-speaking practice time and duration, ensuring she never gave up, just adapted. It wasn't rigid.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, these strategies aren't just about doing a habit. They're about creating a supportive ecosystem for your brain to seamlessly integrate new behaviors into your daily life.
An ecosystem, I like that.
Journaling, for example. Writing about your habits helps you understand your progress, identify challenges, and stay focused. Rachel writes in her journal every night to stay motivated and clear on her goals.
Turning reflection into action.
Turning reflection into a tool for progress. And consistency is foundational. Establishing a daily routine, doing your habit at the same time each day, helps your brain remember and adopt the new behavior almost automatically.
Makes it automatic.
John chose to write his diary every night before going to bed. Lisa practiced speaking English with her husband every evening after dinner. These regular time slots reduce the need for conscious decision-making.
So we've walked through why habits matter, why they're tough, and this whole arsenal of practical strategies. But what does all this mean for us, the listener, in the grand scheme? What's the real payoff?
Well, it means profound, often life-altering positive changes. Our sources reiterate that the accumulation of good habits leads to feeling more confident, healthier, happier, increased energy, reduced stress.
All the good stuff.
And the ability to achieve significant goals that once seemed out of reach. It truly is transformative because you're literally reshaping your identity through these consistent small actions.
And it all boils down to this powerful principle. The accumulation of small, consistent steps leads to monumental changes over time.
Exactly.
It's not about a single breakthrough, but a continuous series of tiny triumphs that compound, slowly and steadily building the life you want.
Which, this raises an important question.
Yeah.
If even the smallest, most comfortable action can become a powerful, positive habit, what tiny, almost insignificant step could you take today that might quietly reshape your entire tomorrow?
That's a powerful thought to leave with. Think about it. What's one tiny step you could implement immediately based on the insights from this deep dive? We encourage you to find it, start it, and, just watch what happens.